Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack your sources, digging into the details to pull out the real nuggets of insight for you.
Exactly. And today, we're looking at Hollywood. Sometimes it seems like stars just get handed the keys.
Right. But then there are the others, the builders, the ones who, spend years really grinding it out.
They put in the work, the fierce ambition, until they're not just, like, at the table. They own the whole room.
And that perfectly describes our subject for this deep dive, Sydney Sweeney, a prime example of that builder mentality.
So our mission today is to really figure out how she did it, how she built that career step by step,
Yeah, looking at her unique way of performing, how she's expanded into producing now.
and how she handles, well, the modern spotlight, the cultural stuff,
Yeah.
all while staying this, unforgettable presence.
That's the plan. We'll dive into the sources you sent over, trying to see why people say she's not just, like, the internet's favorite, but actually one of the best out there.
Okay, let's get into it.
So first thing, Euphoria. A lot of people probably think that's where she was, discovered, like this sudden explosion onto the scene.
Right, the big break. But the sources you shared, they really debunk that myth pretty clearly.
Yeah, she was hustling, a powerhouse long before Cassie Howard became a thing.
Absolutely. And what's really compelling is looking back at her earlier roles.
Yeah.
You can already see glimpses,
Yeah.
hints of that talent, that depth.
Like in The Handmaid's Tale. I remember that one.
Exactly. Playing Eden, it was this heartbreaking piety she conveyed. Remember that scene? Refusing to renounce her faith, choosing death instead.
Oh, yeah. Intense.
But her performance wasn't loud or showy. It was described as a tragic whisper. Just this profound conviction in her quiet gaze. It was really something.
And then you had Sharp Objects, that quiet intensity again, but this time it felt like a lethal secret simmering underneath.
You felt the weight of it, the hidden turmoil in just like a controlled glance.
And the White Lotus, totally different vibe, that deadpan delivery.
Olivia Mossbacher, yeah. Became a whole generational mood, didn't it?
It really did. So these roles, they were kind of laying the groundwork, setting the stage.
For sure. She was delivering these really nuanced, compelling performances way before the Euphoria breakthrough. It wasn't overnight. It was like the culmination of all that work.
Which brings us to Euphoria. That's really where she landed, you could say. Became a star.
Definitely. And it wasn't just playing Cassie Howard, was it? It felt like she embodied that desperation. Almost uncomfortably real sometimes.
Yeah, the character was definitely written for drama, but Sydney, she brought this raw, unfiltered vulnerability to it.
That crushing need for love. You saw it in like a tear-streaked hallway scene, or that frantic look in a shattered mirror, that plea for validation.
And that rawness, it connected.
Yeah.
Massively.
And absolutely, that infamous monologue,
Yeah.
I have never, ever been happier.
Oh my God, yes. Became huge.
It just transcended the show, didn't it? Became this cultural phenomena, a meme, sure, but also like a symbol.
A symbol of what, exactly?
Well, kind of both the pain of being young and figuring things out, but also just the absurdity of life sometimes. It was a gasp, a shout, a voice for people feeling those same intense emotions.
It really cut through. But, Hollywood can manufacture a lot of stuff. What do the sources say about why her specific kind of authenticity resonates so much, especially with younger audiences?
That's a really good question. And the sources seem to suggest it's because she doesn't just wait for the spotlight. She, builds her own stage,
Yeah.
and pulls you right in.
Okay. So it's not about being the loudest person in the scene.
No, not at all. Her strength is often in the quiet moments, how much she can say with just a single trembling glance. Think about that bathroom scene in Euphoria.
Yeah, the mirror scene. Intense.
Right, staring at herself, completely broken, not saying a word. But her expression, the trembling lip, the look in her eyes, it tells you this whole history of insecurity in, 3 seconds.
That's powerful. That's that raw, profound acting.
Exactly. And it's not just teen drama where she brings that.
No, you're right. It's that ability to convey so much without words. A look, a tear, as the sources say, can be more powerful than a weapon.
A flicker of the eyes telling a deeper story than 1,000 words. It's like she slows the world down in an industry obsessed with being bigger, louder, faster.
How does she do that? Just holding a gaze longer.
Yeah, or letting silence speak, drawing you into whatever her character's feeling internally.
And we saw that really clearly in reality, didn't we? A totally different kind of role.
Totally different, moving way beyond high school drama. Playing reality winner, a character hardened by politics, by real-world consequences.
And she made that character's humanity just break through.
Playing every fear, every scar, like it was carved onto her own soul. It's pretty amazing how she can just inhabit these incredibly diverse roles.
And make each one feel completely authentic, like it's the realest part of her.
Yeah. Which, when you look at it all together, it's clear this success isn't some fluke. It's not a coincidence.
No, it's years of work. Decades even, the sources mention. Navigating an industry that, let's be honest, often overlooks people who don't hit it big immediately.
Right. The, quote, late bloomers. Those she started young. But instead of fading, she's become this masterclass in determination.
And she seems very careful about the stories she picks, choosing them with reverence almost.
And honing those performances until they feel like an echo of some deeper human truth. It feels like she's building a legacy, not just chasing fame.
That ambition, it's like an anchor, the sources say.
Yeah.
And the hustle is her signature.
Yeah, that long-term vision really sets her apart. It helps explain how she can tackle such varied, complex characters.
So let's pivot a bit. Talk about her as a producer, a businesswoman, because Euphoria, even though it made her a global icon, it wasn't the peak, was it?
No, it seems like just another step. That raw ambition we talked about, it's now expanding. She's building her own universe, creatively and commercially.
And there's been, according to the sources, huge anticipation for her in this dual-role producer and leading star.
Oh yeah, fans were eager to see her lead, but also step into this businesswoman role. And she's really redefining what a modern movie star can be.
We saw that with Anyone But You and Immaculate recently. It wasn't just her acting on display.
No, it was her savvy business mind too. That unique entrepreneurial spirit coming through in her producer role.
Like with Anyone But You, apparently she was key in getting the script, packaging the whole project.
Yeah.
That shows real market understanding.
Exactly. Her vision, that grounded humanity she brings to acting, it's now shaping bigger Hollywood narratives from behind the scenes too.
She's not just playing a part anymore, she's building the entire world around it.
Which does bring up interesting questions about, modern celebrity. It's not just performing now.
Right, it's building a brand, a business.
In her producer credits, they promise to bring that same vulnerability and dedication, that pursuit of truth, to everything she touches. She's breathing new life into that old movie mogul idea.
But with this bigger platform, this expanded ambition, comes a different kind of spotlight.
Yeah.
More scrutiny.
Inevitably. Like the recent attention around that resurfaced video. The one that had a gun range from, 2019?
Yeah, that went viral and kicked off a pretty heated political discussion.
Right, and this is where it gets complex. Navigating the modern cultural landscape. The forces note the footage was embraced by some. Conservative commentators praised it as, American grit.
Okay.
But at the same time, others used it to fuel a bigger debate about celebrity politics, personal values, public image, often stripping it from its original context.
So the key takeaway here, just reporting on what the sources indicate, is that in our hyper-connected world, anything from your past can be re-examined, recontextualized.
Exactly. It becomes part of this constantly evolving narrative around a public figure.
But regardless of anyone's stance on that specific content, the point is, Sydney Sweeney is a force. She can't be ignored.
No, she commands box office, and she's also right there navigating these tricky cultural conversations.
Which really speaks to her range, doesn't it? That ability to move seamlessly. Teen drama to raw thriller. Big blockbuster to small indie gem.
Yeah, without ever losing that magnetic core. She's not just internet famous, she's genuinely one of the best talents working today, with incredible versatility.
And maybe her secret weapon, as one source put it, isn't trying to be different, it's just that she's fearlessly herself.
She doesn't wait to be heard. She acts, produces, builds, and the world leans in.
And that's maybe her magic, making millions of people feel like their own quiet ambitions, their hidden sorrows, are worth acknowledging, too.
Yeah, it's not just making you love her characters, it's somehow making you understand yourself a little better through them.
So connecting all these threads,
Yeah.
it sounds like she doesn't just play roles, she plays truth.
That feels right. She gets so deep into the emotional reality of a character that it feels completely authentic, even in extreme situations.
And that's why people will still be talking about her, Cassie Howard, her reality winner, her producer work years from now.
Exactly. Not just because they were popular, but because they were unforgettable. And unforgettable lasts.
So here's to Sydney Sweeney. Wearing ambition like a second skin, smiling like a savvy CEO, pushing her talent right to the edge, even under all that scrutiny.
She's not just carving out her space. She's defining a new era, powerful entrepreneurial acting.
Absolutely. And as her story keeps unfolding, one thing's for sure.
We'll keep leaning in, wanting to see what's next.
Definitely. And, her whole story, it kind of forces you to think, doesn't it, about how much of our own truth we're willing to inhabit in the roles we play in our own lives.
And what kind of legacy are we building? Not just for others to see, but for ourselves to live.
Something to think about.